halftime of our Purple Community game, student versus staff game. It's a bittersweet moment. I would like to bring Mr. Schaner. And also, can I have his wife, Marcia, and his daughter, Carol, to please come? Carol. For those of you that don't know, Mr. Schaner, he will be leaving us on Friday. It will be his last day. Mr. Schaner has impacted everyone's lives, and even my short time here at Pinewood, he's just been an awesome co-worker and awesome friend. He definitely will be missed. And I haven't known Mr. Schaner for a long time, but just in the small amount of time that I've met him, he's had a huge impact just on me as a teacher, just on as a person, just his fight. So I really appreciate Mr. Schaner. There's a couple of people that has a couple remarks, so I'm going to bring Mr. Van Overen to come on up to get some.
Thanks, Vinny. You're going to want to sit down. All right, well, as Mr. Mayfield said, we are very fortunate to have Mr. Schaner's wife, Marcia, and his daughter, Carolyn, here. He also has a son, Michael, who is in Wisconsin currently. And he plays the organ in a church, and Christmas time is a tough time to get away from churches. So he's not able to be here today. Those of you that don't know, Mr. Schaner is originally from Hart, Michigan. Hart is a small town up north. To let you know how small, there are actually more students in Kentwood Public Schools than there are people in Hart. Hart is 2 miles wide. 2 miles. 2 streetlights. That's all. But as they say, you can take the small boy, or take the boy out of the small town, but you can't take the small town out of the boy. Mr. Schaner definitely likes the simpler things in life. He's an avid hunter. I have golfed with him many times. He started out better than me. That's no longer true. He enjoys making maple syrup straight from the tree, and I understand a little bit of playing cards, especially poker's something that he enjoys as well. I can only assume with the free time that he's going to have now, or the extra time that he's going to have now, he'll become even more involved in those things. After leaving Hart, he made the biggest mistake of his life and went on to Michigan State University. Go Blue! Come on back. We cheer for all Michigan schools, right? Try. No, you don't get a mic. No, but even though Michigan State might have not been the best choice educationally, he did meet Marcia there in the marching band. So we're glad something could come of that. And he is a devout Michigan Spartan through and through. If you've been in his room, if you've seen the occasion or when Michigan State beats Michigan, he plays the fight song. So yes, we will cheer for the green and white today. He then went on to begin his teaching career. Quiet please. And after bouncing around Texas for a little bit, he came to Kentwood. I believe you began at Glenwood, correct? And then came on to Pinewood. And he'll be leaving us after 37 years of teaching. I'm glad you applauded for that, because I want you to think of something. 37 years. That's before personal computers. Mr. Schaner started teaching before we had computers. So the words like RAM, or mouse, or floppy, or the net meant something completely different back then than they do today. Dashboards were on our cars. Bandwidth meant how wide is the band? That's all. We've come a long way since then, and so has Mr. Schaner. My students I lied to yesterday. I told them that they were I asked them to write something nice to Mr. Schaner on the back of their lab sheets, telling me that it was their birthday, because I didn't want them blabbing about today. So here's some things that Mr. Schaner will be remembered for. His nostalgic stories, his puns and Schaner jokes. The messiest desk ever.
Yes, yes.
The way he sings happy birthday. His willingness to give up his lunchtime to talk and work with students. How he tries to be funny, fails, but is still funny. His acceptance of all cultures and religions, all his different voices. And this was kind of cool. After he read my name at the beginning of the year, he started talking to me in Spanish. Others remembered him this way. Thank you for your smile, your witty sarcasm, and your master key to let me in my room. That's not me, but I do want that master key before you leave. He's a dynamic teacher, a committed advocate for students' rights. Thought I was going to be okay. A creative and an enthusiastic speaker for fairness, a seeker of challenging student opportunities, a coach, student council coordinator, a union rep, and a teller of jokes, how bad they are. A husband and a father, you devoted your career to teaching young people with the hope of strengthening their minds and developing the willpower to face the oncoming world, yet unknown. We will love you and we'll miss you. Thank you for all your service to our Kentwood family. Another person wrote, after knowing him for 27 years, I also knew how much you cared for kids. I also knew that I could count on you and your corny jokes. God, that seems to be a theme today. That lightened even the darkest moments. And after reading this list, I'd like to add one word, friend. Because I'll miss you, my friend. But my final words are not for Mr. Schaner. Instead, they're for his wife, Marcia. We wish you the best and hope that you realize that a retired husband is also known as a wife's full-time job. Please take care of our friend.
All right, there is a couple special gifts that we have for Mr. Schaner. This first gift that is going to come out, this is actually really special. In art class, you may have walked down the hallway and you see the big posters of like some historical figures. Well, this year, before we even knew Mr. Chaz was going to leave us, the students, this is to tell you how special Mr. Chaz is, the students had already picked Mr. Chaz that they were going to make the poster for Mr. Chaz. So, this wasn't nothing planned for this assembly. Just to show you how special Mr. Chaz was, the students picked him already, and we just want to show Mr. Chaz that this was made by the students. They picked you. It was without. Also, I hear Mr. Schaner is a Everybody, if you can, that flag is a gift from all of the teachers. We know you are Spartan through and through. And for everybody, we can give Chaz. I need everybody on their feet. All right, everybody on your feet. And I need you to make some noise for Mr. Chaz.
I never thought this day would come, and it's scary, but it's awesome. I love you guys, and I want you guys to do well, and be good people, and be nice, and love each other, and work hard to learn. Learn to love learning and enjoy it, okay? Make it fun for yourself, as well as these people who are going to be here without me. I might come bug them. So, you know, and the other thing is, it hit me today, you got purple community shirts on. I'm leaving because I've got Parkinson's. You know, it's a brain thing that doesn't produce the chemical, and then it makes me weird. And I need to take care of myself. But that Purple Community, Van Andel downtown, is one of the world's best research centers. Okay? And hopefully they can come for a cure, because I know some of your families have been hit with Parkinson's too, and so you know that. And you know, fight for a cure, fight for the purple, and all that. And I love you. One other thing, this is my 29th year in Pinewood, and 29 years ago today, I got one of my greatest gifts. And you know, it's about my last time to do this horrible singing. So once I get to the intro, then they join me, please. Her name is Carolyn, and she's one of the reasons why, along with my wife, people would say, "Are you a Spartan fan?" And they go, "No," and they look and they go, "What?" And I said, "Well, her father was a national champion cross-country runner. We met in the marching band, and she was a varsity rower, by the way. When she rowed against Michigan, she won every time." And so we are not Spartan fans. We are Spartans. But, okay, all right, so she is my little girl. To me, she's the world. To her, not just her dad, I am her big squirrel. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to Carolyn. I love you, my girl. Thanks, Marsh. Thanks. You rock, Pinewood. Thanks for everything. You got it?